Welcome back, everybody, to Santa Fe Fashion Week's YouTube channel. If we haven't met before, I'm Stephen Cuomo, executive producer of Santa Fe Fashion Week. And we're at a scene stage today. We have a very special guest, Monique Candelaria, and you're going to be running the class a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, my name is Monique Candelaria. I'm born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I am a military Army brat, so I did live a couple of years in Germany, a couple of years in Colorado, and then my dad had a brain aneurysm, which brought us back home. He did survive. You know, he's quirky, to say the least. But he taught me a lot of skills when it comes to my overall personality, how to have determination, how to set goals, how to create strategy, tactics, learning your audience, how do they function, what are the key elements that make them behave the way that they do. Everybody responds from a place of trauma. That's everybody, I don't care who you are. And understanding that their behavior is from that, trying to add that to any character that you also have, is the key element to making it also feel real to ourselves. So acting wise, I didn't start out as an actor, guys, and honestly, I'll say I probably sucked. Yeah, I did. I definitely have a couple of things where, you know, anytime something is new, it feels odd and you don't quite know how it's playing to the camera. You don't quite know, hey, what's my good side? What's my bad side? What are the key elements that make me who I am? Because I can assure you, nobody can be me better than me. So why am I going to pretend to be someone else when I should be bringing out the best attributes of myself? And I say that to everybody because that's the most important. Yeah.
So you didn't grow up wanting to be an actress then?
No, I started out wanting to be in the Air Force. Even though I grew up an Army brat. I loved combat. I was in Kempo karate. When my parents divorced, my mom was like, you're out of all those contact sports. She's like, but you do love the art, so I'll support you basically in that. But I'm glad I had that support. So I actually started out singing.
And I've seen you sing. I've heard you sing at Vernon's.
Yeah, I sang at Vernon's for a long minute there. I think I sang there from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah, those are fun summers, yeah. Going down there, listening to sing. Yeah, good time.
But I had started out singing in funerals and weddings.
Okay.
Of course, in school, I did all like state competitions and swing choirs, tons of awards in those areas. Fast forward, get to high school, and suddenly you get humbled real quick. I had a teacher that told me I was a French fry, and they were mashed potatoes, and they didn't need a student that stood out above the others.
Wow.
I was not allowed to be in the swing choir, which pushed me then to dabble in acting.
Wow.
So that was my first introduction, and it was also the transition of realizing like the music alone can automatically alter your personality instantly, depending on how you resonate with it. When it comes to acting, you're bringing a story off the page into life, and it's the written word as well as how you interpret that makes somebody feel it. Loved that element of it. But I didn't quite get along with the teacher.
Okay.
So then I jumped into dance and realized that you can tell story through movement. How are people behaving?
Right.
You know, what is that? How do you ignite that passion whenever you're inside of something? And how do you pull it back? Like, what are those key things that we're looking for? How do you know when someone's lying? How do you know when somebody's uneasy? Where are their feet placed? Where are their eyes? How do you know when someone's looking forward towards the future or they're trying to remember something in the past?
Wow.
Looking towards the right, you know they're making shit up.
Interesting.
Looking this way, you know they're trying to remember.
Oh.
It's an interesting
Because the
thing.
brain, that's very interesting.
Yeah, the past and the future. When people are standing, it's a whole military thing, right? You're doing the fig leaf thing. It's a position of power. If you're squaring off somebody, you know that you don't really have to do anything. Just the way the body is positioned alone will tell you that they're confident in where they're at. They're so confident their hands are behind themselves. And they don't need to do much more than that. However, if you see people, well, if you're standing behind them and you see that they're holding their hands, it could be a restraint.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hit this person, but I probably shouldn't.
Oh.
But if they're forward and they start grabbing their hands and they start closing off, well, then you know that there's something that they're uncomfortable with. Feet being planted. If someone's feet are just planted on the ground, which we should all do, mind you, whenever you guys are acting, planting your feet, I don't care what profession you're in, public speaking, whether you're in sports, whether you're acting, get grounded. Get grounded, own your space. When you're also owning your space, if someone were to come at you, you're ready to move if your feet are planted. If you're in this position,
Right.
I'm relaxed. I ain't gonna fight. I'm chilling.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so body language is really important. So for anybody, study body language. Because that will help anything that you're doing.
So playing off of that.
Correct. So dance taught me a lot because suddenly I took out all words. I also was in enriched writing and realized that the written word is powerful as well. So a good story, you don't really need to add much to a good story, guys. If there's a good story, less is more. And I'll tell you right now, it's not about what you're saying. It's about what you're not saying. So it's listening. Many times when we first start acting, we get in the mindset of, I need lines. I don't become SAG if I don't get lines. You know, we make it so important that we get lines. And it is initially in our brain because that's what they're saying you're going to get your SAG card for.
Right.
However, what makes a good actor? When they can be. When they can show that they're listening. If you notice, how many of you guys in here have been in an editing room while they're editing film? Okay, I do recommend that if you have friends, try to edit something even short with them. You will suddenly learn why continuity is so important. It is incredibly difficult if somebody was like suddenly had a line like this, and then they went like this, and then they're like, all right,
Yeah.
back to the first, right at the beginning, let's start again. And then they forgot that they did that.
Right.
So then they went like this first, and then they went like this. Well, now I'm trying to edit these two parts together. I did the close-up. Now it's the medium shot, and I'm in reverse. So guess what happens? Oh, they cut you out, honey. Now they're focusing on the other person because your continuity was off.
Right.
It's too hard to edit. Otherwise, you see, this is what happens.
Yeah, it looks too herky-jerky, yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, and I see that happen to a lot of actors. If you guys have ever done a 48-hour film festival, you know that you're trying to like put things together, and you're like, oh my God, that was such a great scene.
Yeah.
I can't use it.
I remember being, I think it was a Fright Night, and I played a doctor as just background. And, they take the photos to see, the continuity photos. And you're messing around because I had the stethoscope and, we're screwing around in the break room, whatever. And then you wonder, like, did I put, was I wearing it this way? Was I wearing this way? If you're wearing a tie, how it is. And it is, continuity is important, especially even as a background actor, because when you go to the editing room,
Correct.
you have a great scene and all of a sudden it looks, something's off, if they did a different take and stuff like that, so.
Correct. So learning how to break down scripts. Have you guys been taught how to break down scripts? Okay. Action beats are so important. Why? Because it becomes a dance on the page. When you have an action or you realize that there is a movement that's happening, usually there's a topic change. So what I do is I make a big line across that area, and that becomes my movement. So even if a director or a producer says, hey, you know what? Instead of going from here to there or picking up this thing right here, I want you to do this instead. Cool. I'm not trying to remember where it was at. I know that action, that beat, that topic change is now where I place that new action. That way I know where my continuity is, and it's not like you're trying to remember every single, wait, when did I do that? So actions in between your lines. Don't ever do it well. Like there's a lot of people that want to do actions while they're speaking, but whenever there's crinkling, this thing, there's the chair, suddenly you realize that it's overlapping your lines. So then you have the person who's doing audio going, shit.
Yeah, there's so many different things.
There's so many different aspects. So really being an actor is doing it all and understanding it all. That way you can help everyone as a team accomplish the goal, because the magic happens when we all work as a team.
Exactly.
But I'm saying actor isn't like you have to have all this stuff, but are you guys alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are alive, right? You're living every single day of your life. Have you guys felt love?
Yes.
Yes. Have you guys felt hate?
Yes.
Shit, have you felt envy?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations. You're a professional actor.
There you go.
There is no emotion while you're human that you have not experienced at least some part in your life. Even hunger, even if it was only for an hour and you got emotional because you felt hungry and you had to wait for that meal to come.
Right.
You know, cold, you forgot your coat. You know, there isn't anything. So when you're seeing a character, it's not something outside of yourself. What you're doing is saying, what's the difference between me and this character? The only difference is how long you stay in a certain emotion for. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it going, okay, this person, the undertone that's happening right now is contempt. They have no control. Everyone in their life has always been in control of them. Well, when in my life have I had that happen to me? I find that moment that is similar, and I ask myself, what was my thought process? What was I thinking? Just jot down, what were you thinking? Where was my body in that moment? And kind of go back. Every time you've had certain experiences when you're in love, where was your body?
Yeah.
It probably was a side glance. You don't want to come off too strong. You know, it's a shift. You know what I mean? Like you start placing all these little things and you realize, if I do this, then I know that I'm sending off this vibe. Whenever I'm de-escalating a situation, right? I know that I can't do this. Calm down, sir. Hell no, you ain't gonna calm down. I'm straightforward to you, right? But if I tilted myself, I'm like, calm down, sir. You know that I'm not trying to fight you at this moment.
Right.
You know, so what I want you to know is that you are perfect as you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you
So
doing?
sorry I'm late.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, it's
We're
all
just-
good.
we're just-
I've been talking probably far too much,
No,
so.
you're fine, totally fine. So
I'll
we'll
definitely
just about to jump into it. So before we get into the our acting class here, I also want to plug that you're also into jewelry and fashion and whatnot. I've seen you on a couple of shows talking about that too. So tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Guys, I love the arts, and I'm sure you guys all do too. If you're artistic in any capacity, you probably dabble in just about everything. You know, so don't ever feel like you can only be one thing.
One trick pony. type of thing,
Correct.
yeah.
We'll get real a little bit here. So yes, I've always made things since I was a kid. I used to make like hemp jewelry and use stones. I've always been fascinated by stones. But since I graduated from UNM with a theater degree, emphasis in acting, and I jumped into it right away, the past 15 years of my life has been nothing but acting. Well, guess what? COVID hit. Guess what happened? Everything was shut down.
Right.
You know, so I had the dilemma of my main sources of income was modeling, singing in public venues with an audience, and acting. Guys, my sources of income went right out the window. So I had the big question of who am I when I'm not performing? That's a big question to ask yourself. What do you do when you're alone? What makes you happy when you're not doing the performance aspect, the passion? Okay. At the end of the day, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and that is something that I know that I didn't focus on, which was my internal self. So I actually took a year of psychic courses to actually dive into like my own intuition, being able to listen to myself, and trust the feelings. The feelings that we have, because they are very valid, and you guys absolutely should start trusting those feelings. On set, you are met with a lot of challenges, and every single set is different. So be calm, digest what's happening, and then trust what you're feeling and don't undermine yourself. But anyways, took a year of those, and then I got into wire wrapping. So I taught myself how to acrylic paint, and you guys can see some of my art online. And I taught myself how to do the wire wrapping. And as of last November, I got certified as a stone practitioner. So I also do stone healings with stones. It's basically non-invasive acupuncture on the body.
Very cool.
So I wanted to be able to help those around me in a different capacity, not just by showing a different light and how we can view the world, but actually see what somebody might need and help them. So my jewelry, it's basically on the body poultice. The way that stones work, it's vibrational medicine. So it's kind of like having a best friend by your side. So, you know, we match energy. If somebody comes in and they're pissed, oh, we're pissed.
Yeah.
We're instantly ready for a fight because we know. Or if they come in happy, then we're ready for that happiness too. So a stone resonates at this frequency when we're open to it. We have the stone on us. And basically, our body wants to match its frequency. So if we're feeling down, we need that little boost. It makes us feel
Oh, nice.
A little better.
Yeah.
If we're too high strung and ADD is happening, ADHD, okay, it'll bring you down just a little bit to match its frequency. So that's how it can
Kind of
also
brings you
come
back down to
in.
center a little bit.
Yeah, and I do have ADHD, guys. So if I do repeat myself or say something, just bring me back. Just ask me a different
Right.
question.
Yeah, it's funny with acting, and then we'll jump in, but I check out a lot, like mentally, like someone will be talking, and all of a sudden you think like this little mini vacation. And what, like me and Tom play tennis, one thing like tennis, like you can't check out because the ball's coming at you. But with acting, right? Yeah, or motorcycle riding. But with acting, you really, like you said, you have to be paying attention because your lines are coming, but you can't be like just on autopilot, but you got to stay engaged. And that's one thing kind of neat about acting.
Engaged is the key word you just said. So what's the difference between, so people get caught up in lines, right? So instead of thinking the opinions of what they're saying, you know, someone just said, I love you, right? And instead of digesting, oh, they said they love me. We're going, what was my next line? Right? So then they say, I love you, and your face is this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So guys, what you really should do, even when you get a script, yeah, you read it once. Don't even look up, who am I acting across? Who is the producer of this? What's the director? Get your just overall take, guys. What's the story? What was your first impression? How did it feel? Okay, that's first
So
step.
read it almost like a book. Read it.
Yeah.
Maybe not just breaking it. Well, I guess you are breaking it down. But
After, literally, just read it the first time.
Yeah.
You know, then you can look at, all right, this is my character. So let me now look at it from this character. What are similarities? What are things that I resonate with? What's the underlying like emotion? All right, cool. Then go back in and the opinions while the other person's talking. So like look at their lines and be like, what does this character think when that person says that? Because that's what you're thinking and that's how you're going to remember your next line. Because when you have those internal thoughts, that's going to get you to the sentence that you say. If in your head you're going, you're a creep, then my next line is, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You know, my cousin's waiting for me.
It's like fight or flight.
Correct. Do you know what I'm saying? But if I was just trying to say, oh, I'm going to get out of here, my cousin's waiting for me, but I wasn't thinking you're a creep, then it's going to come out, I just said it.
Just flat.
Yeah, so you really have to understand the opinion. If you're actually listening to what they're saying and you understand the opinion, you almost don't even have to try memorizing. So guys, if I tell you a joke, okay, if you ever listen to a joke, first of all, trying to memorize it, come on, no. Anytime someone tells you a joke, you're just listening. That's it. So I tell you, you know, a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead go into a bar. Hey guys, did you guys just picture a blonde, brunette, and redhead go into a bar? That's right, it was a visual. You didn't even have to try, you automatically saw it in your head. So they go into this bar. The first one, which is the brunette, says, I want a BL. You know, and bartender says, BL, what are you talking about? You know, and they go, I want a Bud Light. Oh, got it, I got it. So the redhead, what would you like? You know, oh, I want an ML. What is an ML? Miller Lite. Oh, okay. And it gets to the blonde. What would you like? I want a 15. Wait, what? You know, I want a 15. And then he goes, I don't get it. She goes, 7 and 7, duh.
That's pretty bad.
Okay?
Yeah.
Guys, I can tell you right now, if I call one of you up here, you could repeat the same joke.
Yeah.
And it's because you saw it play out exactly in your head. So if you can visualize what's on the page, if you can see where you're moving, you can see your actions that you already placed because of the beats. If you can see where the opinions are, trust me, the memorization goes like this. You won't even have to try. Okay, now, this is another thing that happens to a lot of people. They get into an audition room, right? I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, you stand there and you get right there on that X. Like, I'm ready. Okay. Got it. Well, guess what? Your body recognizes that it's a different direction than you were facing when you were at home. It's an interesting thing, but your body will automatically associate whether you're facing in the right direction. If it's the right direction, then your body doesn't notice it too much. You feel kind of at home, you practice, so it suddenly comes out. But I can't tell you how many times that you can think that you know your lines.
Right.
You walk into the room and you're facing a different direction, and you don't know why you lost them all. Okay, so how do you fix that? Well, you already did all the basic work, right? You wrote all over the page, you got your opinions, you know those undercurrent layers, you got your secret, your before. I can't tell you how important that is. What's your before action. You know, am I hiding something on the side? You know, or did I just fart and I'm trying to walk away? You know, whatever that is.
Right.
And then the ending, where am I going? Okay, cool. You did all that. Congratulations, you did the first part.
Yeah.
The next part, record it on your phone. Record the other person's parts on your phone. Why? Because like as human beings, we don't like to bother another person by having them consistently read it with us. So if you read the other person's lines and you read your lines in your head and you leave the appropriate space for you to say your lines, practice with it and with yourself in front of the mirror. Where am I? Where is my body? Did that look right? Okay, that did feel pretty good. This is where that character is. This is where this one is. This is how I'm transitioning. Cool. Then you practice it. And then when it comes out right, you say, okay, that felt good.
Is it the same thing as recording the other person's lines and just listening and doing it in the mirror?
Basically, you're trying to figure out. Okay, so seeing yourself in the mirror is giving you the cue of where you're looking,
Right.
what you physically look like. I can't tell you how many times that you can tell somebody, like, be happy, and they have no idea what their face looks like. Okay, so like I actually have on my resume that I'm a facial gymnast. So I literally can work each part of my face individually, from blinking to moving each side.
Like Jim Carrey was amazing at that.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you use your face too much and you see close-up shots,
yeah,
it looks like black caterpillars going across the screen, guys, and it's not attractive. It's something I personally had to work with. I have to know what I look like, that way I can stop. And trust me, if you're in a school environment and you see yourself on a huge wall like this and there's 60 of your peers laughing, you won't do it again. Trust me, you won't do it again. So seeing yourself is imperative. So you practice in front of the mirror. All right, that felt good, that felt good. Yeah, I got my intentions, everything feels right. Turn to the right. So you're not looking at yourself anymore, you're facing a different direction now. You play it. You do the same thing or whatever, it feels good, feels good. Then when you get it, you turn backwards, right? You do the same thing. I messed up. Start at square one, guys. Go back to the front, see what you're doing, see if you changed anything. And did it actually work? So don't take it as a bad thing. You'll discover a lot even in turning back towards the mirror.
it's all like learning a musical instrument in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
Get the chords down, you kind of start all over.
Come back to the front.
Yeah.
Hit the right, hit the back, hit the left. And when you come back forward, see whatever you changed. Okay? You hit all four directions. Now you're going to get into the audition room, and that little hiccup won't be there.
Wow.
You can
Good
trust that
advice,
it's
good
not going to
advice.
be there. So, guys, I do it for everything. And trust me, I can memorize stuff quick. Why? I see it in my head. I know what the opinions are. I can face any single direction. If they switch it up on me or they want something different, I got it. Okay?
That's what I say too, because I did an audition and I was supposed to play like a crazy doctor, and then there's like, oh, play it funny. And it's like
Play funny.
And it's like, it was like I'm like, I didn't practice for that. It just
Well,
totally
no,
caught me off.
Okay, play funny. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So emotions. This is what I don't like about emotions. And of course, for anybody who hasn't taken acting courses, which a lot of the time directors are not actors. So their communication isn't going to be the same actor lingo. So you're going to have to learn how to translate. Okay. So translating. They say, be funny. What does that mean? This is the problem with emotions, okay? They say, I want you to be happy. Everyone thinks this is happy. That's fucking startling,
Like a psycho.
right? It's very alert.
Yeah.
But if they said, okay, I want you to imagine bubbles and puppy kisses, Pikachu kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and suddenly we see all those little things. Our eyes get softer. The facial expression gets softer. We can picture all those bubbles in the air, and we can picture those butterflies and Pikachu kisses. And
So
suddenly
you
I
pick
have
up on
the
those keywords. You
emotion.
pick up on those keywords.
The key words and what makes me happy. So you need to know yourself. Wow, what is the things that make me happy? What makes me smile? Is it me sitting below a tree and reading a book? Is it me being on a roller coaster, with my friends, waving down, at whoever's there? Those are different levels of happiness. So whatever they're asking, be happy or be funny, think of yourself in moments when you were funny and how was it funny.
Right.
So me, I'm not a slapstick funny. Like, if I just fall over myself, it looks like I just fell over myself on purpose. And you're just like, okay, I mean, okay, so you fell, but it wasn't exactly funny. The funny that I know that I'm good at is when I'm just being honest and you say probably the most brutally honest thing, but because it was so innocent and so literal and I missed the joke, I'm unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
So learning yourself of like, how are you funny?
Right.
When have people laughed at you? When are those moments? And when they tell you, be funny, then you automatically already have this in your head. So definitely, certainly make a list. In fact, I have, sorry, I'm leaving the frame and then I'm coming back.
That's okay.
This is what we're gonna do at the end of this. So I know I'm talking a lot now, but we will certainly play. Oh yes, look, Ravenclaw, guys. The one that's never even seen in Harry Potter, but that's certainly what I am.
Nice.
Okay, I have 2 different bags here, okay?
Okay.
I got, these are all my verbs. This is what I'll start teaching you and talking about that you can apply to whatever style of acting that you like. Okay, I'm not here to teach you how to be an actor. There's no way. It's 2 hours and we're actors and opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. I'm not here to tell you that you suck. I'm actually here to tell you that you're alive. Therefore, you're actually good to go. You're doing something right. Because who we are with a friend,
Right.
who we are with a lover, who we are with a boss, who we are with a child is completely different.
Yeah.
We wear all these different masks. So ask yourself, how are you with these different people? So that when a director says, you know what, oh my God, that's not a lover. That's actually a homeless guy outside. You're like, oh my God, I read the text wrong. That happened to Simone. Literally, the way that it read, it almost seemed like a lover's dialogue, and it wasn't.
Wow.
And they were like, it's a homeless person. So guys, don't think you know it all. You can do all of this background stuff, and someone's gonna go in and be like, oh yeah, thank you. And that's not what we were going for.
Wow. Yeah.
And it hurts because you probably spent 3, 4, maybe half a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week on this character. And guess what? You can't be angry about it. So what is an actor? An actor is a ventriloquist doll, guys. Yeah, it can have all the mechanisms to move its eyebrows, shift its eyes back and forth, smile. But unless you know how to use those mechanisms, they're not very effective. Then it's just a sitting doll.
Yeah.
Okay. So get popsicle sticks.
Cool.
Go ahead and write a bunch of verbs on there. That's going to be something that we're working, and I'll show you how those work. And in this bag is those lovely words they like to give us. Okay, which is, let's see. I want you to do this authoritatively. Okay, that's cool. But this is when I'm talking about body language. What is authoritative? Because when they say that, your translation is, where is authority in my body? It's not in words. People think that authority is volume. They think that hate is volume. They think that anger is volume. Let me tell you what, a casting director in a room being screamed at all day, they ain't happy to see you by the end. Trust me. You know, so what is authority? Be aware that volume is not always the answer. Okay, so it's that undercurrent. Sean Connery is wonderful at this. He's just a present. He has authority. He doesn't need to say a damn word. Anthony Hopkins, there's authority. He doesn't have to say any words. It's just there. Where is it in the body? What is that presence? Focus on what that is for you. That way when they tell you, do it authoritatively, you can be like, all right, I totally know what that is. It's a firm, direct, center line. I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm facing forward and I know that I'm in charge. Okay, where am I leading? Is it with my head? Is it with my shoulders? Because that'll change how your character is. And that's the difference between you and a character. Where am I leading with my body? Where is it sitting? Okay, so then they tell you another word. I want you to do this suspensefully. What? Right? What? You have to translate that. How would it be suspenseful? Well, suspenseful usually is a time thing. You'll see this a lot in horror films. Don't question if they tell you to wait 10 seconds to do something, guys. They need that extra time in the editing room. So don't worry about what you don't need to worry about. If they give you direction to pause for 10 seconds before you respond, there is something to create that suspense. Okay? And something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. You can spend a whole day just recording you being. And depending on what music is there, it's going to change exactly what we think about it. Okay, so you guys hear what I'm saying? Like if they give you direction that has an emotion to it, you know, I want you to do this dramatically. Again, this is another word that people think it's about volume. It's not volume. Dramatically can just be like, I have no words to express exactly what I'm feeling, so I'm actually going to increase my speed. I'm going to make a big, am I like bulldozing through it to be dramatic? Or am I going to have a long pause? Because dramatic can also be this. That's me just being dramatic. I may not like the situation. I'm going to let everybody know that I don't like it. Period. So what I'm saying is everything is interpretive. You are consistently going to be told emotions. Emotions do not matter. Emotions are only cues for you to do your instant homework in your head, to be like, when have I been in this? What are the different levels of this that I can effectively do? And if they're asking for 3 different ways, I just showed you that dramatically can either be a quickening of the pace because it's going to be intense and maybe it's an action movie, or maybe it's an intense drama. So I'm going to slow it down and really like lay it on thick. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to bring these out for. Cool. That way you can challenge yourself. So like even if you think you got it and you're like, oh, I did so much work and this is so brilliant. If you think you're being clever, throw it away. Throw it away. Because honestly, you can guarantee they're going to change it. And don't ever think that if they give you direction, that you did it wrong. Guys, they just want 3 different ways because somebody else might have given a different way and they need something that appropriately fits. So even when you're in the audition room, if you get it in one and they're like, all right, cool, done. Awesome, congratulations, that's awesome. But if they have you there and they want to see it more than once, take it as a compliment. They're actually willing to ask you to do it again. It's like being a kid all over again. It's like if you practice something inside of your room and you're like, all right, I just practiced this. I can't wait to show my mom. You know, and you come out and you're like, Mom, can I show you what I just did? Yeah. They ain't paying you. Your mom ain't paying you. But yeah, you still get excitement. Right. You still do it. So an audition is a moment to perform. And guess what? Someone's getting paid to watch you. That's a success, guys. Downright success. So don't wait for the phone call. You bring yourself. You know what you worked on. You know what you did. And you know when you were in that room and they gave you direction, you interpreted it and you gave your all of what you got. Okay? You let it go. When you get that call, because you already forgot about it, trust me, all of a sudden you're like, wait, which one was this for? Oh my God, I got it? That's huge. It's huge. Yeah. And in that feeling of being pleasantly surprised instead of like in constant...
laying awake.
Yes. Yeah, you're just like waiting to die for a moment, guys. Like you have to bring back that youthfulness. Right. You have to find that way to play and realize that we are adults playing a child's game.
Right.
Okay? And that is something people don't like to do. Why? Because we're basically the live gypsies of the world. We are acknowledging that we may not ever be wealthy, but we are doing something that we love. I can say that if I die tomorrow and I get to those pearly gates of heaven and God tells me, so, what'd you do with your life? I'm gonna be like, everything I wanted to.
Sweet.
Okay, my goal is not to be on the front cover of every magazine. Remember, everything has a price. If you are that famous, you probably can't go to Costco. You probably can't go to any place that you really want. Why? Because there's somebody there that's going to invade your space. You can't even go out to eat normally. You're going to give up your privacy to have that. You know, so be careful what you're asking for. Realize that just doing something that you love is wonderful. That's a success all on its own. The fact that you guys are here right now, challenging yourselves to do something that people would be like,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna.
On a Friday night?
Yeah, on a Friday night. Yeah, you know what I mean? That is a success, guys. So I want you to know that you guys are already successful.
Well, we appreciate
Because
that. We
of
appreciate you
Alzheimer's.
coming down to our scene studies. So what's on the agenda? What would you like us to do?
What are we doing? Well, one, I want you guys to do a little quiz with me, and this is
Okay.
also why I gave you guys paper.
Okay.
And I'm gonna I got my little notebooks that I wrote my little notes on. It's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I would probably like you to do it too, so
Oh.
you're not just in the hot seat, you're gonna participate.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry guys, I'm showing you my back. There you go. Yes. Yes, yes. And I did bring an extra pen so that you're not stranded.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that's another thing, guys. Take control of a room. Okay? There's nothing worse than someone who doesn't know how to do that. Because then I have to teach you, or they have to teach you how to do that. Not saying to be a cocky asshole. I'm just saying to go in and be like, all right, we're here. And I'm here to make this the best experience that you can have, and that you can take away a bunch of nuggets about everything. Because I only have 2 hours to do something.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess it's not fair if I make you guys do something and me not do it either, so there we go. Okay, first question. What is your favorite animal? Just go ahead and write that down.
Okay.
And as of right now, like if you guys are like, I don't know, or you're just writing down the thing that you thought, check in. What's your favorite animal right now?
We're gonna regret this later.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just playing. You won't. You'll be pleasantly surprised, I think.
Okay.
Okay, whatever animal that you just put on, I want you to put down 3 adjectives. I want you to just describe something about that animal that you resonate with. So this can be that it is proud, loyal, it's fierce. You guys got me.
I got you. Yeah.
Let me know when you guys all are ready.
Can we have more than one?
3. Total of 3 adjectives.
One animal.
One.
Just choose your favorite right
choose.
now.
Okay.
I mean, good to note if there's another, and you can certainly go back to that. But for right now, just one.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite color? And again, guys, just your favorite color doesn't mean that you have to wear it every day.
Okay.
It just means that when you go out in nature or in your home, if there's a color that you're like, every time I see this color, this is the color I love. That's the color you write down.
My daughter's already. She's already
You
like.
want 3 adjectives for the color?
Correct.
Yeah. My daughter's always
Correct.
like, enough with the black already. Like, I know.
Okay, but if it's black, then you can say like whatever words, you know,
Describes that.
describes that for you. Like,
Right.
what does that mean to you? And honestly, even if it's like a word that's not necessarily an adjective, but you know, it makes sense to you, just go ahead and write it down. So don't think too much on it. Okay. The last one, your favorite body of water. Okay, and this can be anything, guys. A tear, a puddle, a river, a waterfall, a lake, sink water, that's weird, but hey, you never know. Anything that's water, and then give me 3 reasons why. Okay, raise your hand when you guys are all done.
I can tell we have nothing in common. It's just it's gonna work out.
It happens, but
It happens. It's all good.
this moment,
It's complimentary. Oh yeah.
You're peeking.
I know.
peeking.
Yeah, I know. Reminds me of high school.
okay. You done? Okay. Got it. Okay. So this first one, this is how people view you. Okay, so look at those adjectives because on a subconscious level, that's probably exactly how others are viewing you. So choice of words is always an interesting thing. And I don't know, I'll read you guys mine and you guys can say whether, and you guys might not know me well enough to know if it's true or not. But wise, misunderstood, and fierce were my 3 ones, and it was for a snake.
Interesting.
Let's see. So just put next to this, the snake, know that that's how people view you. Bronze was my color. Your color is how you view yourself or what you're aspiring to be. So if you're like, well, that's not necessarily how I view myself, ask yourself if that's how you would like to be and that's something that you're working towards. For me, I had put warrior, earthy, warm. Again, if you guys don't really know me very well, you wouldn't know if those are accurate at all, but I would say that since this is how I view myself, I do view myself as somebody that is very willing to stand for what I believe is right. I do call myself kind of like the new age Viking, that I will do whatever is necessary. I like to travel, I like to explore, and I'm not one to be hindered by other people who might not think well of me, depending on whatever those views are. Earthy, I'm grounded, guys, and boy, do I love the earth. Warm, I don't like to say I'm warm. So yeah, that's probably what I aspire to be. Okay, the body of water. That's how you view sex. Okay.
I'm gonna change my answer.
Makes sense.
I put Gulf of Mexico, very few waves.
So for me,
I'm flatlining.
That was good.
I'm flatlining.
you're like, let me see. Is everyone? Okay, there we go.
I can share these. I think we should.
We absolutely should. Is everybody comfortable doing that and seeing if whether or not? Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna pan around. Let's start
Oh,
over
this is
here.
terrible.
I'm gonna pan around. Cool. So.
So you want us to start from the top, correct?
Correct. And let me see what time it is too.
You doing okay for time?
Well, my watch just ate shit, so I have no idea.
6:57.
Oh yeah, we're doing great on time, guys. I spoke fast.
You did great. So Austin, tell us what's on your list.
I put lion, I put hungry, fearful, and confident.
Hungry, fearful. Interesting. Do you resonate with that? Do you think that sometimes people think that you're
course.
fearful of things? Okay. That's a huge, I want you guys to know too that this is an insight about yourself in admitting that you have fear. The only way you can have courage is if you have fear. Otherwise, it's not courage. So that's a beautiful thing that you were even willing to put on paper
Yes.
and share with others. So thank you.
My favorite color is pink because I'm brave, confident, and I love to stand out because I am
cool.
different and I'm proud by it.
Good.
And for the body of water, I put tear because it takes emotion to make tear. Also, it takes you back to that moment
Okay.
with that certain somebody or situation, and it means something to you at the end of the day.
Yes. Wow. Okay, that's a topic to touch on too, guys. Sadness. There's a lot of people that think a good actor is somebody who can cry on demand. Okay? And I'll tell you that the moments and the actors that have made me personally cry as an observer are the ones that aren't crying. And what is it about those things? Why do we cry? We cry because there was something that we loved and that we were happy about and that we no longer have. So when you have to cry, think about that character and what they love and what they no longer have in that moment. And it's when you realize that suddenly something you love, that you don't have it anymore, that's what will create the tear. Okay? It's not just somebody who can train themselves to drop a tear. You'll see it and you're like, oh wow, they can cry on demand. But ask me if it made you feel any way. Most likely, probably didn't. So, thank you. That was also a good point to bring up.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shyzir.
Hey, what's up? Alright, so my favorite dog, my favorite animal is a dog. Is comfortable, humble, and fun.
Wow.
My favorite color is green because it's strong, brave, and clever. My body of water is river. However you want to interpret that is up to you guys. But yeah, it's calm, soothing, and pretty chill.
Nice. You got those slow jams going on in the background. You're like,
Yeah.
hey.
And
Okay. So my favorite animal is a cheetah. They're fast. They're royal, this like regalness about them, and they're focused. My favorite color is orange. It's bright. I have sunshiny, which is like I guess happier. And it's like a fresh and new color, which I guess is what I'm aspiring to be. And then my body of water is a lake, which is calming, natural, and sparkling. It's actually really beautiful for me because I've had a background of like bad relationships, and the relationship I'm in right now is like all of these things. So it's like really comforting actually that this is what it ended up being. I love that.
butterflies.
she's
So
engaged. She's engaged.
Well, sharing yourself, you know, that's what we're being asked to do, right? To be private in public. That's literally what we're trying to do, is understand that that isn't there. Like that isn't pointing at our face, and we're actually digesting what someone's saying and listening. So you actually made me feel a certain way. So you were very honest. It was good. It's so good. Do you guys, the three of you guys that just did this, did it resonate with you? All of them?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's keep going around. Would you like to share? Or are you okay? You don't want to?
Can you rattle that off even though you didn't write it down?
I didn't write it down, but
But you are a writer, so.
I am a writer. So it's all up here. Writers live in their head.
So your favorite animal?
Dog. They're loyal, give unconditional love, and they're beautiful. Color is blue. Cool, elegant. Those are my only two. And body water, the Pacific Ocean, because it's always changing. It's vast, and it's thought-provoking.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of the time there's thoughts afterwards. Yeah, you know what? This is also tells a lot about ourselves. And if there's something that you're like, maybe I should change, that gives you insight of who you want to be. And it's okay to realize this is what we call shadow work too, is when you start asking yourself questions and getting answers to things that you didn't even know existed. You know, so learning subconscious cues, writing down your dreams, guys, that's where most of anything I've ever written for scripts has come to me in my dreams. So don't undervalue those little cues. They're really important. Okay, let's keep
And
going.
that's a little bit of Mike here. Or Candice, I'm sorry, Candice.
So I chose a giraffe, and I put majestic, graceful, and proud. For my favorite color is Tiffany blue. I just did a thing on that. And I put serene, intentional, and joyful. I don't really know if joyful is like necessarily associated with that color, but I think
That's what it is for you, so yes.
well, and I always think like it brings me joy. Like it doesn't necessarily symbolize joy, but it brings me joy.
So let's say you're doing tarot readings, right?
Yeah.
Cards, and it comes with a deck with descriptions. The reason why it's okay to like initially like use it is because you're beginning to learn what different symbols are involved. But then you have to ask yourself, what do they mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're giving a reading, your subconscious is going to speak to you on your terms. So if Tiffany blue is your happiness, that's what it's wanting you to deliver, because that's the language that you're speaking. So don't feel that there's ever a wrong answer. If there's something that comes to you on that level, that's basically what you need to say, and just know that you can trust it.
Yeah.
You absolutely can
Well,
trust
and
it.
I guess I was kind of saying like that I don't necessarily feel like I'm a joyful person, which is I'm kind of dark and depressing.
That's the
But
aspiring aspect.
well, but I would say really like when I think about Tiffany blue, it brings me joy, and I feel like that is kind of the position that I exist in the world, is I'm constantly like bringing joy, not necessarily
Or that you're trying to bring
Being
together.
the joyful person. I don't know. That's dark and depressing. So let's move on.
Although, I mean, I always think of you as like joyful and happy. And
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah. So
I'm an
that's interesting
excellent
to hear.
actress.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a river, and I said wild, powerful, and always changing. So, which is why I had to laugh. So,
Their minds I think alike. And you, young man?
Yes, my animal was lion because I'm confident, proud, and loyal.
Well, that's what others think of you, so. But that's good to acknowledge that you agreed.
I hope so. And then my color would be black because strong, silent, and simple. And the other one I thought that was about the way I think. So I put ocean, which is vast, deep, and big. But I was thinking more of the way I thought because I'm a deep thinker. So I didn't, yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Safe space.
They're in the safe spaces.
So my favorite animal is dog, and that's because it's loyal, loving, and faithful. And is that the way other people view me? Is it?
Yeah, say so.
Yeah, I mean, and my two favorite things in my entire life was being a dad, and and being in the military. So that, and then my color is blue because it's patriotic and it's the color of the Air Force. I'm retired from the Air Force, and I like warmth because blue skies make me feel warm and it's fresh. Like water is blue and it's fresh and it cleans you. And favorite body of water is bath water.
Self-love is good, and that's something you can do every day.
And I don't know if bubbles is an adjective, but I used it.
No, but what is it about the bubbles?
I just think it gives me a good memory.
Okay.
Like and then if it's related to sex, bubbles usually you do the bath and you're not alone, right? And then I grew up in Montana, so I've always been cold, and I love the warmth of bath. And then I was like calm and joy. I didn't know which one I felt, but it's, I guess, different emotions, but that's the way it makes me feel.
Well, both are good though, and that's usually how we feel, right? It's not just one thing. I don't think any of us are one-dimensional beings whatsoever. We're totally on a multi-dimensional level, and when you're trying to create, I respect every single one of you for whatever acting choices that you choose and whatever you resonate with. I'm not here to tell you what method of acting I prefer or what I think of anything. The only thing I will say is respect yourself and respect those around you. It's not okay to ever mistreat anybody when you're a character that's disagreeable or maybe you're an ornery character. Okay, so being able to turn on and off emotions is very, very, very important. If you are in, a series of some sorts, maintaining the mentality and anger and undertone, like let's say you're playing as a female, a victim of sorts where we're being brutalized, okay, to allow ourselves to be in that state for the duration of possibly years is not okay, okay? And I want you guys to understand this, that the brain does not know the difference between our thoughts and our body, okay? So even whenever you're in sports, they tell you, visualize yourself getting the ball into the hoop. Why? Because every time you picture yourself doing that, you're practicing. Your body is literally, where was my hand? Where was I aiming? Where was my body? Okay, every time that you see yourself, there's studies that show somebody who just thought about doing certain exercises and actually by the end of the time frame of the trial gained muscle mass. Okay, obviously not to somebody who is lifting an actual weight and understanding like how to push their body, but that is insane that you can sit down and think of an exercise and your body's like, okay, yeah, I got this. Okay, which just shows the power of actually being able to visualize the content of what you're doing. So also, like, again, there's dialogue where there's not necessarily a visual you think in the scene. That's one aspect, but a lot of the time we as people are thinking of memories, right? Like if I'm having a discussion and I'm trying to communicate something, I'm thinking of a memory. So if you realize that part of this discussion is a memory, write down that memory. Okay, that way you guys can also have that other layer underneath of what that memory is while you're talking. Okay. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed that. I quite enjoyed the fact that you guys wanted to share. I wasn't sure if I should make you guys do that. But I do think, how long have you guys been with one another? Have you guys been in scene studies for a while, that you guys have seen each other's work?
Yeah.
This is your first time. Okay. Not even a big deal. If you would, I want us to be able to go around the room, and all I want you to do is say, "Hi, my name is," say your name, and I want you to tell me something that you like to do just when you're alone, like what you do for fun when you're alone. It doesn't have to be your passion or acting, but something that you genuinely enjoy and brings you happiness, okay? So keep it simple. It doesn't have to be too long-winded, but after each person, I want us, the rest of us, to take a moment and write out the essence or characters that we can see them playing.
Cool. So I'm gonna go this way first.
Okay.
Oh man.
Keep you on your toes, right?
Go ahead and say your name, and then that way we can write it at the top of our page.
Okay.
And mind you, we're gonna give this to the person at the end, okay? That way they have an idea of what everybody also like gets from them, and you guys end up taking something home that you can look at. Okay.
Hi, my name is Don, and when I'm alone, I like to be in my thoughts and remember the really good times. And those are times when my kids were small, and that makes me feel good.
Give a moment so that way everybody can go ahead and say something on their page. It could be 3 words, guys. It doesn't have to be, it could be 3 words of what you get or roles you can see them playing. Okay.
I'm so glad you're here. Makes me happy. Okay, go.
Hi, I'm Michael, and when I am at home, I like to write different strategies to win tennis matches, fantasy football, stuff like that.
Yes. Candice.
Hello, I'm Candice. When I'm at home, I like to curl up in my bed and sit under my covers and daydream. That's my happy place.
Daydream?
Yeah.
Say your name for me one more time.
Candice.
You ready, David? You ready?
I guess.
Yes. If not, that's okay.
No, I'm not here as an aspiring actor, but my name's David, and I'm at home. I make music and write books.
Music man.
Well, what about that makes you happy?
My life is music. I was born to play
Is it
music,
the rhythm? Is it
and
because
I don't
of-
know. I am music. Music is who I am, and so when I'm playing it, I am realizing who I am, and it's I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it's just something that I have to do.
Okay.
It's like an addiction almost,
Okay.
but it's something it's an addiction that brings joy and has no hangovers or side effects. It's pure, for me, it's pure happiness, communication.
Hi, I'm Hannah. And when I am just hanging out by myself, I like to embroider, read and study tarot, and play music and sing.
Do you have a favorite instrument?
I play keyboards or piano and ukulele. Ukulele is where I got my start, and I really love it. That's where I write a lot, is with my ukulele.
Shyzir.
Hi everyone, my name is Shyzir.
Wait, you gotta tell me how to spell that, because I'm gonna feel bad if I go and write your name at the top
It's all
and
good.
spell it all wrong.
Shyzir. What I do on my free time is I play games and watch anime.
Nice. Is it because of like the cosplay part of it, the stepping into different characters? Is it the battle? Is it the elements?
I say it's more just imagining myself in like such situations where like I'm in a situation where some bad guy tries to get me, and I always kind of visualize that where like, oh, maybe one day if some weirdo tries to come after me, I could just do some cool moves.
Okay.
Austin.
Hi, my name's Austin. On my free time, I love to watch, they call it chick flicks. I believe that there's true love out there. And another big thing is I love watching superhero movies and getting more involved with each and every character and what their failures are more than their success.
Pretty hard to sign.
It is, and sometimes it's just like if you guys can go back and if there's certain words or aspects that you guys can see in a character and that comes to mind, you guys can go back and just add onto it. We're not looking for spelling, guys, so please,
Okay. Mine's transcript.
I'm so used to things auto-correcting now and doing random stuff that I'm like, I don't even know how to spell, I think, half the time.
Cool. So my name's Steve, and in my spare time, I'm creating, editing, and all about analytics. Yeah, YouTube analytics.
I've always wondered.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going back because I know I didn't get to finish writing.
Okay.
So I'm sorry that this is being recorded. You might have to edit it.
No, it's all good.
So,
So you guys share with us?
oh no.
Huh?
Oh no. Hi, my name is Monique. Oh, sorry, it's not over yet. I was like, okay, we're in it.
Okay.
My name is Monique Candelaria. When I am on my own, what I like to do is explore myself and my surroundings. Honestly, like I really do like to dive into like how I'm feeling at any given moment. I will often do like tarot cards or pendulum readings. I do like to journal. I like to write down my dreams. I like to ask myself questions, even as far as like, what is my favorite color? If I say that anything is my favorite anything, like ask myself, but why? What is it about that thing that I actually like? And am I being honest, or am I giving an opinion based on someone else's opinion? And that I will frequently ask myself if I'm being influenced by somebody around me because of their own enthusiasm, which as an overall person, it's interesting to see if we're receiving and kind of like just being a reflection of somebody versus actually ourselves. So, yeah.
So since we're on the subject a little bit, social media, because social media could sometimes drive you crazy. Sometimes do you try to stay off of social media, or what's your Do you allow it to get to you if you're on social media, watching what people are doing?
Okay, I use it as a tool, and I think, guys, it's very important to understand power. Okay. Social media is fantastic because it's basically free advertisement, right? And it's also getting like your name out there because let's be real, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. Okay, so presentation, learning how to communicate with the masses and not knowing exactly who those people are that are watching you, and being mindful of what you're actually sharing. We have been geared and taught that we should be divulging everything, right? It's like update your profile. Let me tell you what, guys, on my Facebook, I looked at it the other day, there's like 100 things I like, which is true, I like a lot of things, but if you're looking at it, you're like, is this person real or did they just click every box? You know what I'm saying? It also has become a tool that your employers will use as well. So you can't, guys, be true to yourselves, but do realize that your way of life and how you view things is not how other people view it. Right. Okay, whether a law passes that's now something is legal or whatever, it doesn't change the person who's against it. Okay, so depending on what you share will dictate how people are viewing you and you're unintentionally giving them power. Okay, so hypothetically, let's say you applied for a job and someone goes and looks and they see a bunch of rainbow stuff. Well, you don't know how old this boss is or how old the owner of the company is and whether or not they're up to the same mentality that's currently, in the state. Well, they can look and see a rainbow and be like, oh, wonderful. Dealing with that community, huh? Well, they didn't ask you, hey, are you from Hawaii? Maybe that rainbow had nothing to do with that. Maybe it had everything to do with where you're from, but they didn't get that far. Okay. Now we're also being told like you should be sharing what gender you are, what your sexual preferences are, whether you're interested in male, female, transgendered or more. Look, honestly, unless you're fucking me, you don't need to know that, and I don't have to share. I mean, that's the honest truth. All of that stuff is personal, and those who are inside of our in-house are the ones who maybe I even don't share with the in-house. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I certainly don't even need to prove it to family. All they need to know is how I'm treating them and how I'm treating myself and those around me. And as long as you're being good to yourself and you're being good to those around you, it really doesn't matter. And trust me, there are plenty of ugly women that look like men, where a man who's very feminine or considers themselves a female, I'm sure they're not going to ask you. I've never been carded at the bathroom to see what gender I am. They're not making me drop my pants. You know what I'm saying? So don't give power away where it's unnecessary. All of those things. So like even for myself, guys, like I do want to create a lifestyle brand, and it's called Shift. SHYPHT, and the idea is that anybody who shifts mentally, physically, or spiritually is a shifter. So instead of us identifying with one thing, we're suddenly identifying with everything, because whether you're a bodybuilder shifting your physical being, you're a shifter. If you're in politics shaping the laws of your community, you are shaping those laws. Therefore, you are shifting the dynamic of the social norms. If you are in the arts and you're shifting people's perspectives, you are shifting their perspective. So suddenly these divides get washed away, and we realize that we're more in common. We have more in common than we actually think. Right. Because at the end of the day, any circumstance that happens in your life will change who you are. So if you go out and you get in a car wreck and suddenly you're missing one leg, trust me, your perspective, view, and the way you take life in and how people view you is going to shift because of that experience. And that includes assault, that includes a death in the family, that includes a lover, that includes positive things too, a marriage, children. So never assume that you are one way and that is the only way that you will be. Don't get in your head that this is it. Be willing to change consistently, ask yourself questions, and adapt.
Well, I became a grandpa a few days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
So that definitely changed the way I look at things. Thank you so much. Yeah. So a couple of examples, and we'll move on. So I'm old enough to remember pre-social media, and I'm Jewish, and I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada for quite a while. And my rabbi, his kids at the time were really young. And so he was going to Starbucks, and I'm driving down Sahara. I'm at the red light, and I see him walking into Starbucks, and he opens up the door. He walks in, and his little kid, he didn't hold the door open for his kid, right? Which just seems like that's what you would do, right? And so I called him up on a cell phone, a pre-smartphone. And I'm like, Rabbi, why? And I just saw you at the Starbucks. and you hold the door open for your kid. I go, that just looks so rude. You never know who's watching. And so the same thing, it's just common courtesy. So anyway, that's stuck in my mind like 20 years later. And then again, throwing up all your behavior on social media, again, before smartphones and Facebook and even MySpace. I used to go to Mexico all the time on a business trip, and one of the gentlemen there was a dentist. And he used to get like really, really drunk. I mean, just really messed up. And I thought, I'd never see this guy as a dentist. I would never go to see him. And he may not be drunk when he goes to work, but still, I just saw him as like, this guy's out of control, man. So again, when you put it out to the world, people do look at it and they do judge you or don't, whatever the case may be. So yeah, so you could filter what you put out there.
Absolutely. I don't announce when I'm in a new relationship or if a relationship is ended.
Right.
Why? Because it's giving room for people who already maybe want to see you fail to be like, ha ha ha, I saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going to bring that to yourself, guys? Like you don't need that. No one needs that.
Right.
It's one thing to share each experience, and those who are around you become your family, so it's okay to share, certain things like that. But your dirty laundry is not for the world to see.
Right.
You do not give away your power, guys. It's totally unnecessary. The same thing I've seen with COVID. There's a lot of people who... Are you guys aware of the right to work agreement for union members? Okay. Essentially what happened was COVID took over the world. I was still working that first year because there was just protocols, and I got to be tested. I got to wear a mask. We had to be so far apart. Yeah. Okay. Well, the next year when the vaccines came out, they were like, oh, well, here's this cure-all vaccine, this one size fits all. We're not going to take into consideration any of your past history, medication, size, ethnicity, any past family traumas, problems, or whatever. If you don't have this, you can't work. I haven't worked in 2 years. Okay. And that's a personal choice that I made for myself. And I don't feel that it's important for anybody to understand why I've made that decision. Right. I just feel that body sovereignty is the key element here, that everybody should have a choice when there is risk.
Right.
Okay, so whether you've chosen to get it, cool. I think you should have that right to be able to do it. Whether you choose not to, cool. I've accepted the consequences of my decisions, but it was an interesting thing for me to see it weaponized. So suddenly we've seen that social media wanted everybody to put a border around their picture saying, vaccinated, go get yours today. Guys, you guys basically became the promoters of something and you're not even getting paid. Okay, our governor gets paid $8,000 a month to push Pfizer. If you're going to push it for somebody, make sure you're getting paid.
All right.
Okay. 2, there are certain casting directors and you won't know which ones are either for or against it. So if you just labeled yourself and said, I'm vaccinated, and they were against it, well, guess what? You're not getting called in, and they don't necessarily have to say why they didn't call you in. I know there's certain casting directors that have not called me in because I can clearly see their views, and they basically wish people dead who did not get vaccinated. That's unfortunate. How can we say that we're humanitarians and for people and yet wish ill on those who aren't following what you're dictating?
Right.
Okay. So this right to work agreement, you are not supposed to be asked as a union member if you are vaccinated. Okay. Not prior to being employed. So whenever there's these things of must be vaccinated and they want you to slate saying, hi, my name is, and I'm vaccinated, or I'm currently up to date, because now you have to be up to date, which means if you did get the 2 shots, then you're already on your 3rd or your 4th shot already. Okay, and that's the up to date. They want you to be consistent in getting it. Okay. Well, because I actually called my union and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, like I'm being asked to do this and this is an experimental, treatment. I was like, that goes against the Nuremberg Code. There are certain laws that are in place to protect us from something that is an experiment. They told me no, because it's under an EUA, that it doesn't fall under the Nuremberg Code, that even though it's still on trial, it means absolutely zip. So it just is what it is. I said, okay, well, what about Hipaa laws? We're being asked. I was like, anytime I've been on set and they're saying, hey, you're kissing this guy right here. Ask me if they said, hey, does he have herpes of the mouth? Do you have herpes of the mouth? Do you have any sores, open gingivitis, gums bleeding? Do you have AIDS? No, they never have. So now all of a sudden you want to know if I'm vaccinated, but you've never asked about my well-being in any of these other circumstances. Well, I see something problematic with that. I've been union since 2011, guys, and I've never qualified for health insurance. They have certain amounts that you have to either make or how many hours. So since you guys are in the state of New Mexico, basically background does not count towards your union hours, okay? If you were in California, you could do background work and actually meet those hours. Here as well, we're not offered enough speaking roles for us to just do speaking lines and get those hours. It also comes down to money because we're also a small market and our agents don't necessarily have the ability to negotiate like those that would in California. We frequently will not meet those criteria. So I actually, the year that I thought that I was going to make it, I actually got paid $32,000 for a role that I had landed. I was like, I'm finally going to qualify. Well, guess what? The year after COVID hit, and instead of making it less so we could qualify and make sure that our health was taken care of, no, they upped it to $60,000. Okay, so Sharon Stone missed it by $13, guys. That goes to show how many people were actually qualifying for health insurance. So I told them, I said, so you guys are for us not being able to work if we can't get vaccinated. And they said, no, we're not for or against it. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense because you're allowing them to dictate whether or not we have the vax. Well, they're like, it's not discrimination because they can't ask you and they take into consideration exemptions. Okay. I was like, no, the second I have to slate it. No, you don't have to slate it. In fact, if they ask you to slate it, you should report it to the union. Okay, no taken. I was like, that's never going to happen. Guys, within a week it happened. I was cast on a project. The deal memo went out. Everything was negotiated. And then they're like, oh, well, now we have to ask you, are you vaccinated? And I was like, no, I'm not. I'll need an exemption. Sorry, we're not even looking at any exemptions, so we're going to have to let you go.
Wow.
Okay. That's literally how that went down. Technically, that production should have paid me for the time that was negotiated. That didn't happen. Why? Because your agent actually has to reach out because they have other clients and they want the opportunity for maybe those other clients who are vaccinated to get cast. It's better for them if they just don't ask so that way the production's not mad that they had to pay out money for somebody they got rid of. Okay. So then I got another one. It was a role offer. Someone from Michigan had contacted saying there's this film project, it's top billed cast, we want you for this role. Cool, awesome. I'm excited. Took us about 2 to 3 weeks. I went through all the script. I went through everything, guys. It was actually really cute. It was like a Hallmark movie. It was a really cute story. Everything got figured out. I was supposed to be there for at least 3 weeks in Michigan. Well, guess what? About a month prior, well, by that time, we're making it so that everybody has to be vaccinated. We don't want to push this on you, so we understand if you don't want to be part of the project. Well, I do want to be part of the project. I just need an exemption. Sorry, we're not accepting any exemptions. Twice. So I did report it, of course, to the union, but the union doesn't do anything about it. And that production as well did not pay me for that time on another job that technically was taken from me. So am I hurt about it? Of course. Who wants to lose out on a role, right? But do I feel good knowing that I do feel that I'm standing by something that I truly believe is right? That everybody should just have the option. Okay. What I saw was weaponized was other actors thinking that because people like me were knocked out, that suddenly gave them a one-up. Okay, there was people that were like, well, I'll just get the Johnson & Johnson and be done with it. Well, now with the up-to-date stuff, and because there's boosters and they're not really saying, oh yeah, you can't mix these two things, they're having to get jabbed with the other ones as well. So understanding the dynamic of the world that you're in is very, very important. And there's things that you guys haven't yet gone through because you guys just haven't been there yet. Another thing for you guys to note as you guys progress in your career, the Me Too movement was very powerful. There were changes that did happen. Now we do have intimacy coordinators, meaning that if you are naked, there is somebody that is there that is to make sure that nothing is happening or violating your physical, mental, or spiritual well-being, okay? That is a fantastic thing. Have you guys all done background work? Do you guys know kind of like the tiers of it? Okay, so you know that there's like the everyday background actor, then you have your featured extra, which is like $250 a day, and if you're new as background, it's like $450, $500.
No,
That's
they're
about
paying that
right.
much now. Oh, wow.
You know, if you're straight up naked, yeah, you can
Oh,
get
you're
up to
talking about
$450.
naked. Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking naked.
I'm talking about naked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Okay, I got you.
If you're naked,
SAG
Two-
California, if you do
250, yeah.
background.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes things take place like in strip clubs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, one of the first, when I was a must join, there was a character that I got, and I was supposed to be dead on a morgue table, and I was supposed to be naked, and they were painting my entire body like a dead corpse. So I felt fine with it because I didn't feel like it was gratuitous. It was literally a dead corpse on a body that was going to come back to life, so there was an acting element that was involved. Mind you, the doctor was actually one of my teachers from UNM, so it was like that whole transition of like being a student to also being a colleague at that point, and also being naked in front of somebody that was a mentor. But anyways, it was a must join. So basically this is what happens, guys. Like you get your first one, you get SAG eligible, okay? You get paid whatever that union rate is for the tier of that project. Each project has a different tier. It can be low budget, modified low budget, or you can have the top budget, okay, of like if they have at least scale. Okay. For that one, I was a must join, meaning that I had already gotten paid union rates for the 2 projects I did prior. On that third one, they say, oh, you got cast. However, you are on your third one. So if you actually want to get this role and accept it, you have to become union. Okay, so at that point, I had already saved up. I knew that I was like already moving pretty quickly. From 2010 is when I became SAG eligible. 2011 is when I became a must join. So it did happen, and I did have the funds for it, but I was like, okay, I'm going to be on set 3 days. I thought it was a top tier, so I'm thinking I'm getting paid at least $800 a month per day. You know, so I was like, it'll pay itself off and I'll make a little bit extra. Cool, and I'm naked, so that'll be a bump. Okay, so I get there, it's night, it's a night shoot. They paint my body already. I'm already all painted, guys, okay? And there was interesting conversation, and I did learn a lot. Like, what color are nipples when you're dead? That was a good question. I was like, doesn't it depend on what they started out as? Anyways, they ended up painting them like a purple color. It was definitely an experience. Now I'm painted as like a dead corpse. You know, I finally get to the area where my contract is. Wow, I was only getting $336 a day, guys. Okay, so it was not the top, and I was like, wait, this is less than like if a background person is naked.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? So I call my agent, she doesn't answer. I call SAG and I'm like, hey, I'm on set, I'm barely seeing the contract now, I'm already painted, you know, I'm seeing that this is 300, like where's at least the bump? Like I understand that now it's this tier that I was unaware of, but you know, where's the bump? And they're like, oh, your background. No, I'm not background, I'm a principal character, I'm cast. Oh yeah, no, if you're cast, you don't get a bump. What? So if now that I'm cast and there's this base rate of whatever, 800 and something at the time, you don't get a bump because they assume you're taking on whatever that role entailed from the beginning. So there is no bump. So guys, when you get to union status and those working in wages, like working in wages meetings come up, that's when you have to say, look, everything should have a base rate. There's no reason why they should be coming here and saying, oh, you know what, we have this naked role. Instead of paying extra for someone in California where their agents can negotiate, how about we just get this person from here who has no ability to negotiate and pay them the bare minimum?
Wow.
Okay, so the bare minimum should always have at least a base rate bump. Okay, I actually did go to the working in wages, and there was a woman there that was like, well, what's to say what my breasts are worth? Well, honey, right now your breasts are worth 0. So how about we all get a base, and if your agent has the ability to negotiate more, well, then that's something else. Cool, good for you. You know, but right now there's nothing. So I didn't get extra for that. Okay, and it was just that I didn't know. Nobody told me. I didn't know that that was how it was, that once I became a principal character, that there was no bumps. And that's for everything, guys. This is smoke bumps. This is cold bumps. This is, if you're working in New York, I worked at a payroll company for the film, basically for the film industry. They get bumps for everything, okay? They make more sometimes than the actors that are there because we get a base rate and we're not collecting all those extras.
So is that pre-negotiated in your contract, or they changed it, like you already signed up and like, oh, by what,
That's just
they decided to make this person naked, or how does that work?
Oh, well, no, I knew from the beginning that it was naked. I just assumed that there was already a bump and I was okay that it wasn't gratuitous.
Right.
You know,
But
so
it wasn't-
I didn't even think to ask. I figured that it would be an automatic. I'm doing something extra that any other person isn't doing. So that should just be something that's added. No, that's not how it is. Another thing for you guys to know. So I worked on Independence Day Resurgence. There was 12 of us from here that were actually cast. Okay, we're physically seen. We had our lines. Some of us were even there for months. Okay. We're all excited. This is a huge blockbuster. We all had lines. We're like, this is a pivotal moment in our career. What a beautiful experience. Yeah. Well, it came out, and guess what? We all didn't get credited. Not even on IMDb, guys, which is a third-party site. Okay, so I was like, no, this is wrong. Like, I'm definitely cast. I can show you my timestamp. I call out my union. I'm like, hey, like, I wasn't credited. And they're like, well, did you get paid? Well, yeah, I mean, yes, I got paid for it.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, if you got paid, like, they credited at least 50 people, right? Wait, what? They have the ability, producers have the ability that no matter how big their production is or how many actors that they've cast, they only have to credit 50 people. And they can leave everybody else off. And there's no rules or regulations to see if they're being discriminatory of saying, oh, well, we're just not crediting anybody that's from New Mexico. So all 12 of us did not get credit.
Just carved you guys right out.
Well, I was like, well, how come IMDb? Like, at least, I understand, fine, so you guys didn't put it on the end credits, but you guys could have put it on at least IMDb to show that's like basically our digital resume,
Right.
you know? And they were like, oh, sorry, we have no say over that. That's a third-party site. So then I contacted IMDb and I'm like, hey, I can show you my timestamp. I have my contract. Like, what do I need to show you to actually get my credit on there to not make it look like I'm making it up? No response.
Wow.
So ask me if any of us got credit. No. So guys, that doesn't change. That's an old rule that's inside of our union that's just never been looked at. And the problem is that just no one knows about it. No one knows until you experience it, and it takes somebody to ask questions to understand why it's there. I thought it had to do with maybe we weren't on screen long enough. Maybe we needed so many lines. Maybe I had all kinds of reasons of what I thought maybe happened. No, they just simply don't have to. And there's nothing in place for that. Your contracts, the 10%. Okay, so sometimes we're like, yeah, that extra 10% is nice because then the 10% isn't coming out of my pocket, right? The production is paying that 10% to your agent. So even up until like a year ago, I thought that was probably like that was a good thing. Okay, well, it is a good thing for the moment, but if you make residuals on that inside the state of New Mexico, you will have to pay that agent because it was 10% above the base rate for the rest of your life while you're collecting residuals. If you hadn't have gotten that 10%, you would only have to pay for like the first 3 airings of like whatever that is on your residuals. I will tell you, with as many projects as we work on, it's incredibly difficult to keep track of like where each project is, who you're supposed to be paying. Definitely keep an Excel sheet of like who it was. I've been with several different agencies, and that's a conversation on its own, which we can touch if we want to. But do understand what that 10% means and have that conversation with your agent if you just want to pay out of your pocket, so that way you know for the first 3 you're paying them and then you don't have to think about it afterwards. Or if you just don't mind and 10% sounds good, then cool. Just know that that's there. Do your homework and understand what that means. Unless they're really giving you like a huge, like they negotiated a crazy amount for you where like 10% is a lot, then cool, then it's probably worth it. And then yeah, I absolutely want to pay them for the remainder of my life. But can you imagine paying 1 cent?
Yeah.
Like, there's times when I'm like, I think I owe you 5 cents.
So you guys actually cut him a check for that.
Yeah, you know, so it's just, I mean, being honorable, right?
Yeah.
An honor code.
Yeah.
But it is frustrating that a lot of these things aren't talked about. We don't know where to get this type of information, and a lot of the times we don't even know what to look for. There's a lot of information, but where are you looking? We're looking at what we think applies to us. Okay. So, gone over contracts, gone over. So, how many of you guys are SAG eligible? Okay.
So did you want to go over what would you like to go over next?
I would like to see your guys' ability to take direction. If you guys did bring any sentences,
I know a few people are chomping at the bit, so
if you guys did not, don't even worry about it, because all I'm going to do is be giving you one sentence and I'm going to show you the power of changing it through verbs.
cool.
Okay.
So we'll let Michael go first. So is it cool if he comes up here then?
Wherever. Where would you like them to be? We can move the chairs. They can be up front so that there's just a white wall and not boxes behind them.
Yeah. So why don't we, is yours standing up? Just one of those chairs and then...
Okay, so first, I don't even want you to act this for your first round. I literally just want you to read these 3 sentences. Then I want you to show us however you want.
We okay, or it has to be 3?
No, 2 sentences. Sure, 1 is good. You got 1 sentence, 1's good.
Yeah.
I ain't picky.
It's easy like a Sunday morning,
Yeah.
according to her notes.
Now, do you want me to look straight into the camera to the left like I'm auditioning?
Like an audition, go ahead and use me as eyeline if you need it.
Okay, so in, I go to the seat. Action.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, okay? The word for you is gouge.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Pauses in between, a gouge is one single moment. You only have one eyeball. So combine all of it as a fluid sentence without emphasis on every single word. Try.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That was it.
Try it again. Yeah, I know it's cool. Let it go.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That was...
Oh, that's good. That's good. See that? Use that energy. Use that energy. You're a victim right now. I'm going at you. So.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Cool. Like it. Did you feel also that energy, even through frustration, use the energy that you get? That was beautiful. What's the next verb?
Crush.
Crush. Okay. To crush, what does that mean to you? How are you underlaying this? Throw away whatever character things that are going on. Use the verb. How do you crush somebody? How do you make them feel less than? That is to crush somebody. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and use it.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Cool, you put a lot of emphasis, but let me tell you what, when someone makes me feel crushed, usually it's because they're laughing at me and I feel like I lost all my power. So try using humor at this point and nonchalant. I hate the word throw it away, but like I'm not worthy of you even speaking to me.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Well, that's fucked up. You're an evil person. What's the next one?
Smash.
Wow, all these were like, you know what? Let me go ahead and switch. We're gonna. I don't want you to have to do the same thing that we did.
Irritated.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe I keep coming at you with a bunch of like nitpicky things. You are far too old for this shit. You're having to repeat yourself probably for the 100th time, and you don't care to. So this is the things that you're adding when you're hearing a verb. So internalize what that is and don't add too much. To do, what's the word again?
Irritated.
To be irritated is also to, it's like a fly. I'm a fly. What does that mean? How do you interact with the fly? Whenever you're ready.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
You're very happy with this fly. Do it one more time and go ahead and like you've been swatting at this little bitch and it keeps hitting you in the face.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Cool. One more time, let go of this character of anger or whatever this is. Let it go. Yeah, there you go. This is you, and I want to see this person that likes to like bet on games and watch games, and this fly keeps freaking hitting you while you're enjoying your beer, okay? So now go ahead and say the lines.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it's like to be a slave.
Nice. Middle class, you understand what's happening? All right, I can take that. Do you guys see how it shifted? Suddenly the class shifted, the speed caused a difference in like character. Like letting go of the things that we work on is so, so important. And thank you, honestly, a high five, because it's not
Thank
easy.
you.
1, to be up first. 2, to try out something you've never done before. And 3, let go of everything that you have worked on, which is incredibly difficult and it is what we will be asked every time we're on set. Okay.
So does anybody else have any lines, remember, that they like?
Thank you.
About?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for
Do you
coming.
have any lines?
Cool. So I'm just
I
gonna
didn't
start.
I didn't even
prepare-
know about the line.
I didn't really prepare anybody, so. Any belts? Yeah, oh, here we go. You
Okay.
go, girl. Have you guys met?
No, but
We
I
both
am
generally
so
know each
happy
other,
that she
yeah.
is here.
We both are badasses, so.
Yay!
I feel honored to
Okay,
be both
I'm
of
not
your
going to go
company.
straight to verb. I think you're a beautiful presence here to show difference in class. Okay? So your word is, or your line is, I hate you. Okay? The first one that I want you to do is be regal. You are a queen. You are a queen talking to a subject that is far less than yourself.
I hate you.
Perfect. Give me 3 takes on that.
Same character?
Yeah, same. Choose different choices. Are you making eye contact? What have they done to you right now? What's that before moment? Why are you saying I hate you?
Because they don't bother, they don't get my presents.
Well, how about you just fucked them and now they think that they can have your status?
I hate you.
You have power, girl. Go ahead and just say that. Don't throw it away. Tell me I hate you.
I hate you.
Whew. Okay, good job. Executed. Having the before moment is very, very powerful. Understanding what somebody did to you. Why are you saying I hate you? Sometimes we'll go with the first of just that I'm so regal that I hate anybody below me, which is not that powerful. But if you allowed yourself to be loved and to give a virtue of yourself to this person who is actually less than, and now they're taking your power, they thought that was an end to belittle you, your intention becomes different and you're going to say, I hate you. Yeah. So good job. Okay. Now I want you to say, I hate you, but as a middle class and you're talking to a boss.
I hate you.
Good job. I felt that there was emotion there. You knew that she did not have the power to probably be saying those words. Right? You could feel that it was almost held back, but she let it escape. That was really beautiful. Okay, now I want you to say the same middle class. I hate you to a parent.
I hate you.
Good job. I felt it. Yeah, a mother will definitely do that to us, even a father, if they're trying to be helicopter parents. So I'm sure that, I don't know what was running through your head, but you executed it very, very well. Okay. Now you are a slave. You are less than probably anybody. and you have felt the abuse throughout time. You can determine whatever that is. But you are saying, I hate you to somebody who is abusing somebody near you. I hate you! Good. You felt the intention. It was forward. It was coming at you. Guys, this is one sentence, 3 words, and the impact of what that is. Did you guys notice that it was different when she didn't have an eyeline? Find an eyeline, guys. I don't care where you're at, whatever audition room. It doesn't have to be the person. When you're actually with a casting director, sometimes it can be a little bit too much energy for that casting director. So choose a spot maybe in the vicinity of like either right to camera or close to left to camera. Learn to kind of see, I don't want to say close, but not too far off in the distance, because we have a tendency to yell if we think it's way over there. Okay, so congratulations, Carol. Thanks. Okay, you executed that so beautifully.
So since we're just feeding a line, you want to go up there, Austin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Get up there.
Come on now. Come on,
Get
man.
up there, young man.
Throwing me out there. I see.
That's how I roll, man.
Okay,
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
It's good.
it's okay.
Get that butterfly.
It's okay.
That's like a rush.
Let me think. What's a good sentence, guys? Give me one.
Steve is so cool.
He likes rom-coms. We're gonna go ahead and go, I love you.
Oh, I knew you were going.
I totally am. All right. I love
Rom-com.
you. I love you.
I
Okay, but I'm
know.
not gonna actually torture you too bad. So while I did status, like, and I did give certain scenarios, like for her, I want you to understand the different types of love. Okay. So I want you to first tell me, I love you. Like, I'm your best puppy dog that's been by your side since the beginning and will defend you when you're abused and give you the love when you need it.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I love you.
Cool. Now stand up. Go ahead. We automatically think that we have to do something. We do not. Internalize it here. Picture me as the puppy dog. And it's okay to smile. Okay.
I love you.
I love you. Okay. That was good. Now try it one more time and allow yourself to be playful. Release your hands.
Sorry.
No. No, remember, body language is everything, and it gives signals to our brains whether it's subconscious or not. So when you do this, this is pulling your energy inward, and it's then inward towards you versus outward towards me. Okay? So if I'm your buddy and I'm looking at you as a puppy dog, I want nothing but love. Tell me I love you.
I love you.
Do playful. And that's an emotion. So what is playful to you? What are we doing?
Okay.
I just licked you all over your face.
I love you.
That's it.
Okay, fast, not quick in it.
I love you.
Okay, there you go. Okay, now do it towards me. Go ahead and say, I love you, like, I love you.
I love you.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we're going to go ahead and do a throw out a verb. Go ahead, let's shake that off. Okay, it's okay to be silly, okay? I don't want you to ever think that this is like going to be... Guys, when you're playing, you should laugh. When you laugh, you allow yourself to have more an ability to find range within yourself. And picture those experiences in your head. When has a dog licked you? You know, usually they're right here and you just want to give them, I love you. Love is an interesting thing. It doesn't mean we want to fuck it. It just means that, you know. Okay. Pull out a verb. First, I want you to kind of give a scenario in which, why would you say I love you? Like, go ahead, just let us know what your thoughts are. Why would you?
As a parent.
But why would you say it authoritatively? Why would you tell your, like, what did they do that you're saying, I love you? Authoritatively.
It's kind of saying as like as a parent, I love you, so I don't want you to do something to get you in trouble.
Right, so I'm
Like
upset
Karen.
with you because you probably
Correct.
yelled at me. You just yelled at me because I probably did something stupid. I don't know, maybe I snuck out. Okay, but I just told you that you don't love me. Okay, so now you're gonna be like,
I love you.
okay, good job. So go ahead and do that again, and I want you to actually make me truly believe it. You don't have to move from that spot. I want you to say, plant your feet side by side. Authoritative means that you're able to face me head on, okay? Okay.
I love you.
Okay, and I'm coming at you. That didn't feel right. Go ahead, do it again.
I love you.
Okay. Now, picture me a kid and I'm right here. You don't necessarily have to yell it at me. Maybe it's more disappointment.
I love you.
Has your parent ever told you, I love you, but you're a fuck up?
Actually not, no.
So it's good to find those moments. Go ahead and even take simple words, especially since you like rom-coms. And let's say the dialogue just says, I love you. Remember, we're talking about like that after moment. Sometimes it's us adding in that extra line in our head. I love you. But he's a fuck up. So in other words, those moments are okay because I'm thinking it and my face is showing it. So that's something that you can also, when you have like the camera on you, see how that's playing to the camera and see how that feels. It would be good for all of you guys to pick up a book on body language because that will be a great accent. Also chakras and realizing when people have an exploded or imploded chakra. People who are overly confident have a tendency to have an exploded heart chakra. Do you see what I'm saying? There's an air to that. If you're playing a character that has that, it's a lifted heart chakra. Then you'll have the person that's maybe wants to disappear in school. Okay? Their heart chakra gets imploded. They do not want to be seen. Okay? This is the body language that happens. So whenever you're writing your thing, get things that help you to also layer in body motion, exploded and imploded chakras. Do one more for him.
This is suspensefully, which is hilarious because it's authoritatively and suspensefully.
Oh.
Did you get that?
Can you expand on that definition?
Sure. So when something is suspenseful, it means that there is a prolonged energy to everything, right? Because I'm not going to let you know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm going to make you search for it. Okay. So suspensefully, how do you figure that out? And it's, I love you. I don't want to feed you the line because I don't want you to just mimic me. Sorry. And that people will do that, guys. I'm sorry. It's a bad tendency for any director where they will feed you a line. It takes away your ability to actually act. If they've hired you, you hope that they've hired you because you know what you're capable of. But sometimes they have it in their head how they want it, and sometimes it sucks, but we have to parrot it. I don't want to do that to you. But suspensefully, you're creating a scenario inside of your head, right? So when would you be saying this in a suspenseful way? Is it,
So like you've wanted to tell this person I love you for like the longest time, or like I don't know
What
the
if they're
definition of
sleeping?
suspense.
They're sleeping and you don't want them to know, and that's suspenseful for everyone because you're waiting as the audience to know that when they find out that that you love them. So picture that you're standing or like kneeling right by. You don't have to actually kneel, but picture in your head that the person that you desire so much feels comforted by your presence, and you're basically there just to watch them. And you're gonna say this to them.
Okay.
Okay, but you closed your eyes, which means you went inward.
Mm.
So you're looking at their beautiful
Oh,
face.
okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
I love
Yeah. Now picture yourself as if you swept a hair off the face, and it's. Ooh,
Very good.
I like that. I want someone to sweep my face.
Oh.
Okay, yes, no, but did you feel the difference in that? So when we're acting and we're in this mode, we have to figure out how to be translators. you can guarantee the director and producers are not going to give you the tools that you really need to do your best work. Sometimes they will tell you, give me more. But what does more mean, okay? I was in a horror film, and let me tell you, I love horror. I do.
I don't.
Okay.
Yes.
But it can go comical real fast, okay? So what happened? We're supposed to be seeing this really scary thing, and, we were, okay? Well, give me more. Well, yeah, but give me more. Okay, it became comical, guys, okay? Really what he was saying is it internalized? Like, are we now trembling because this it could be more by what we're doing and how we're responding in the scene. It's our job to interpret that more. Okay, next. Who wants to be next? Keep that, because you'll help him with that one, okay?
You got time for one more.
Good job. We have time for one more?
Oh, one more?
This is only 09, so I want to respect your time.
Stuff up.
I'll respect your guys' time. You guys patiently waited for me. I want everybody to at least get the chance to do this. So I may only have you do it once, but I do want you guys to understand what that feels like, okay? Okay.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah. So, sentence. Give it to me. That's the line.
Oh, sense.
Give it to me. Okay. Class. We want you. I'm sorry, I hate to say this. We're naturally always going to be typecast. I am frequently typecast as a native. It is my job to just bring myself to the table and all my skills so that people can see past that. But sometimes we also have to play the role. If they call me a mistress most of the time because they see a pretty face, well, you got to own that, and that's okay. Being typecast isn't a bad thing. Own it, but also create your own content so that you can become well-rounded. Because not all the time, there's not a lot of villain characters. There's more characters that are just a police officer, a very simple police officer. The transitional characters, and that's basically where you start. So be okay and know that it's not an insult. It's more of society has to grow. Okay, so give it to me. You are a thug on the street. Somebody is shooting at you, and I'm the one with the gun that you can use to protect yourself.
Okay. What's up, fool? I think, would that be okay?
You say, give it to me. Sure. So that's your before. You're playing it in your head. Give it to me, fool. So you think that I am actually holding it from you, and this person's gonna kill you over here. So create the scene around you. What are you seeing? That's the person that's gonna hurt you. And I have a gun, but I don't know how to use it. Okay, so go ahead and, are you ready? Go ahead and face it on him, and I want you to say, give it to me.
Give it to me.
No, to me. I'm the one with the gun. You want it? Do you want it? No. You tell me, give it to me.
Give it to me.
You think I'm going to give it to you like that? Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Are you scared that he's going to kill you?
Oh, sorry.
No, this is how we do it, right? So I want you to play. The scene is that there's this whole thing that's happening. You are in danger. Implant that. You probably ran a block. Like, this person's going to kill you. You know that you know how to fire a firearm.
Yeah.
I have the gun, but I don't know how to use it.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
So it's okay. So your one line is, give it to me.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yes, okay.
Give it to me.
Cool. That actually was good, guys.
I am so sorry for
No,
that.
you do not have to apologize. This is a learning environment, and you're actually processing your before and after. So this is how you guys are establishing the scene. When you guys are in the audition room, you guys need to make it feel like it's real. Know where this person's going to attack me. Okay? Shit. I've already been fucking running. But you have the gun that I need. Give it to me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you set the scene. You actually did something that I haven't shown. So good job. Now go ahead and say it again. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Good job. Good job. Do you understand what I'm saying by creating the scene in the spot?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, where's that verb? I can't read it from here. I'm not going to.
Insolent.
Insolent?
Insolent. Oh, okay.
Digest that however you like.
It's okay if you give me a definition real quick.
Yeah, can you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We'll go ahead. Does anybody have their phone on them? Because I put mine in my backpack.
Dave, you're the right one. How would you describe insolent? Indignant.
Yeah.
But a word
Being
in like.
difficult, being difficult.
Yeah, like a word that's not like that.
It's
Maybe like being difficult or.
Or
no.
like,
It's less than.
yeah.
It's like an insolent
You-
fool,
you
like somebody
insulted.
who's in. Yeah, it's in.
kind of
Like,
insulted
insulted,
by
yeah.
something.
yeah,
Like the person you're talking to is an idiot.
yeah, I'm an
Okay.
idiot.
Oh, okay. I think I got this. Give it to me.
Good job, guys. Throwing it away, something like that, but knowing what the environment is and who I am. Like he chose not to have the environment that he was in directly being like charged at, which is good though, because I'm the idiot and you're like, dude, you have the safety on, you don't even know how to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give it to me. And you did. Congratulations. Look, that was great. That was
Oh my
great.
God.
I know. Okay, next, go ahead, get up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like some men up there, no?
Okay. What's a good sentence for you? Allow me to give you a reading. Okay. I know that this seems very, very interesting, but depending on your confidence level in this, you can be a novice, like you're just starting. Novice? No,
Novice?
A novice.
novice. Wow, guys. A novice. Or you can be highly skilled and you're paid top dollar for what you do. Okay, so I want you to just show your skill level in this line when you're saying it to me.
So the line is.
Let me give you a reading.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a reading.
Aw, yeah, that was heartfelt, guys. I probably told her that my heart is broken and I want to find my soulmate. Cool. Now I want you to not have any experience with this at all.
Let me give you a reading.
It was good, but it was more like you thought I might be insulted that you're offering me this service. So try one more time.
Let me give you a reading.
Cool. Did you notice the inflection? When the inflection goes up at the end, it means that we're not even sure what we're saying. I love you?
Like she's questioning herself.
Yeah,
Yeah, when your voice
exactly.
rises, yeah.
Exactly. So, does somebody else have a verb who hasn't drawn one? There you go. Cool.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
I heard when in New Mexico. I don't know. Is it
Indignant?
indignantly?
Who wrote these?
Okay, I got one for
You
you.
got one?
Sorry. Yeah.
That's fine.
Enchantingly.
Okay.
Where is that in your body? This is something that is really interesting because it's asking you to be part of something that is possibly more air-like in nature.
Okay. Let me give you a reading.
But you went down, which is earthy, so allow it to
Okay.
be light.
Okay. Let me give you a reading.
Beautiful! Okay, guys, think of elements, and this is something good for you guys all to consider. Video games are great to work on because it lets us know like what type of characters that we're working for, and you kind of know what are your weapons in order to either help or hurt the person, okay? Being air-like in quality, I see that you're fully capable of having that air-like quality, which is actually really difficult for somebody like me. I'm earthy and fiery, okay? Not that I can't be whimsical, but I probably come off as like some evil, twisted witch bitch, even when I'm trying to be,
Yeah.
so own those things. Those are elements to yourself that you can add to any character. Okay, who has not gone? Would you like to go?
No, I'm not.
You're
back
just
there.
observing? Okay.
Yes. Can I use a line? What the fuck?
Sure. Sure. Okay, so I just pissed on your shoes.
What the fuck?
Really? But that's how you would say if I pissed on your shoes?
What the fuck?
Not volume. What the fuck?
Okay. What the fuck?
Are you gonna hurt me if I pissed on your shoes? You're a military person. If I seriously pissed on your shoes, are you gonna say it like that? I want you to own that in your body. You know exactly what that is. You have been around people, you've been around a commander, and you know exactly how they talk. Okay, if you just pissed on their shoes, how are they gonna do that?
What the fuck?
Let it go. Say, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
No, let it go.
What the fuck?
Let it go what you're doing.
Take
Don't
a-
even
take a
stay
beat.
grounded. Put your feet on the ground.
Yeah, take a beat, settle in.
Face your feet both towards me. Okay. You've been standing here in the fucking cold, honoring your country, and a commander just came up and pissed all over your shoes.
What the fuck?
Cool. You definitely gave that you are way here. You have no authority. You are not intimidating at all. Which is a character, guys. So know that even when you get something like that, that's great because the line is what the fuck. When he just says it like that, it means that he wasn't attacking. He kept it low. He kept it internal. He did announce it, and there's obviously something that happened, but he didn't. When we pretend to yell, it doesn't come off. Okay, volume is something, and okay, I'll have you do one with volume. So you are inside of a restaurant, and you're looking outside the window, and you see that your car is being towed. You're running out the restaurant doors as your car is being taken down the street. Now say what the fuck.
What the fuck?
No, dude, ain't no one gonna hear you over there. That car is way over there.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ!
Cool. So you need to work on your diaphragm. So
Okay.
breathing exercises of huh,
Huh! Huh!
huh.
Huh!
Don't be afraid to be fat.
Huh! Huh!
Do you feel that?
Yeah. Huh! Huh!
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the
What did
fuck?
you just do? Did you just do that shit? Now tell me. Did I just do that? Now tell me.
Did you just do that? Did you just do that?
There you go. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I felt
The timbre of your voice also went down, which is more commanding.
Mm-hmm.
If I did something to you, you probably want to do something back. Right. Okay, let's work with a verb. Who hasn't done it or wants to draw another? Okay.
You have to put a R rating on this.
Coldly.
Not for kids.
Okay. Your verb is coldly. What does that mean to you? We kind of want to hear your thoughts.
I would just say coldly, you just don't care. It's just like, hey,
You don't give a fuck.
what the fuck?
Well, coldly is an I don't give a fuck. If someone ever gave you the cold shoulder, you think that's I don't give a fuck? No, that's a promise that something's going to happen later. That's definitely a promise for later. I'm giving you the cold shoulder because trust me, you ain't worth shit.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's an intent. So always figure out what that scenario is. So coldly saying what the fuck with the promise that you will murder them in their sleep. Digest that. Where are you looking at them? Maybe you're hiding behind some poles and you see this man raping this woman in front of you. You once admired him. Now you don't.
What the fuck?
Now with the intent of murdering them.
What the fuck?
Do it one more time. Let it go.
What the fuck?
That's definitely disbelief for sure. Now, picture the scenario that it's humorous.
Okay.
What the fuck? Like, you're laughing at the situation, knowing, but you're still gonna do something about it, so coldly.
What the fuck?
That was great for like a high moment. That was like, I just took a toke. What the fuck just happened? This is a hard thing, right? When we're on set and we're being told something, then as the person who's giving you direction is also trying to think of the additive thing to like pull this out from you. Usually it's a scenario. So guys, really work on the scenarios. You have a lot of qualities to you, and it's good to note that you have a submissiveness to you that can actually be very much in your benefit. Many people want to be strong and they want to be the bad guy and they want to be the person everyone's looking at. Let me tell you, the ones that usually shake up a story are the ones that you didn't expect. So it's good that you have the quality to be not intimidating at times. I think that's really powerful. It really is, because then people will underestimate you, and in the end, you get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I know some people go like, hey, if I was as big as you, I would do this or that. And I'm like, well, I'm as big as I am, and that doesn't even come in my mind.
I worked at Hooters, trust me. I didn't work like this. No. Why? Because women will be upset with me if I have my tits flared up like that. Why? Because men don't care if they're flared up like that. They just want to know you have tits. Bottom line is that you're exactly right. You already are tall, so you don't have to do anything. And this is the same thing with power, guys. Anytime you have a character that's villainous, it's not about being villainous. People who do bad things justify those things. They think they're doing something right. Find the good things in all of these characters. Thank you guys so much. I wanted everybody to be able to have the chance. Don't ever underestimate.
I didn't go yet.
Dude, do it. Okay, your turn.
Okay. I almost skipped out.
Did you choose a sentence for yourself?
No, I'm not choosing.
What's a sentence from, guys? Come on.
Dave knows me best here.
I got one.
What's the sentence?
I'm a new grandpa.
I'm a new grandpa.
Okay. 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 You're going to say this, I'm a new grandpa, to a wife that didn't know you had a kid.
Actually, I lived that scenario, but flipped.
No, but that's beautiful though, because this is what we're talking about, substitution. He's familiar. It may have been flipped, but he understands the reaction and how they communicated. So this is what we're talking about. Like, he knows what that feels like. So let's see how that feels like.
So let's team me up again. So what am I saying now?
You're saying I'm a new grandpa, and to a wife
that does not have a child.
That does not know that you had a child.
Okay. I'm a grandpa.
Good job. Did you believe? Yeah, and it felt somewhat like he was owning it, but he wasn't too elevated. I mean, he's still upright, so we know that he's owning it, but it wasn't.
It's like professional.
Yeah. Good job. Okay, verb time.
Verb time. I want to be like one and done.
One and done. One and done. Oh, you want two? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Uncertainly. So who would you say this uncertainly to?
Who would be?
A child that didn't know you had another kid.
Oh, okay.
You don't know if you want to divulge that you're a grandfather to someone that you never acknowledged either.
Hey, I'm a grandpa.
Good job. I felt it. It was fatherly and acknowledgement and somewhat you know that there's something under there of guilt.
Yeah.
Great work. What's the next verb?
Pompous.
Pompous. Oh.
I got pompous.
Okay. Go ahead. Now, who are you saying this to? Who would you say this pompously to?
Probably everybody. Right?
I was gonna say,
Yeah?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Hey, I'm a grandpa.
Well, that's a really happy. But how about you're in competition with somebody who's always rubbing it in your face that they have 6 grandkids?
Okay. Hey, I'm a grandpa.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Honestly, like, again, guys, creating the situations where you can see the person you're speaking to, know the relationship. It will change one sentence. I'm a grandpa. Grandpa, look, I almost added it in because it's a different syllable. It's only 3 words. 3 words is powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
it was great.